played at LBJ High School. Let's go to Malachi Nelson. At one point, the number one rated player in the country at quarterback. USC has not had a great couple of 3 or 4 days. They also have Damani Jackson, a defensive back who's entered the portal, another highly ranked player. But Malachi Nelson, remember Caleb Williams going on to the pros? They're entertaining Will Howard. I don't think that's official yet. And you wonder if Moss is this quarterback for the bowl game. And I even asked, where's Malachi Nelson? And now we know he's in the transfer portal.
Well, he spent a lot of the year injured as well. And this is kind of, I have a lot of questions about this because, yes, you might bring in a veteran like Will Howard, but I don't know. If I'm Malachi Nelson, there's not going to be many places I can go that I'm going to have the quarterback coach that I'm going to have in Lincoln Riley, and Cliff Kingsbury is still there right now. I mean, all these things that you have at your disposal there. I'm just very curious about how this went down and why Malachi Nelson thought it might be any different than it was. But this is kind of how it goes now. I mean, Dante Moore's in the portal too. He was one of the other top quarterbacks last year. Several guys who are 4 or 5 star quarterbacks have been, freshmen. Aiden Childs left Oregon State, followed his coach. So it's not that unusual. This one just surprises me because if I'm a quarterback, I'm not necessarily leaving Lincoln Riley unless he tells me to.
He was committed to Oklahoma, right? And then when Riley left for USC, decided to go play for USC. Craig, you know a lot about him because he was an OU commit, but we don't know a lot about him because we haven't seen him much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a lot about him, just outside of his recruitment. I didn't, study him in particular just because he was committed to OU at one point, and plus that was, forever ago at this stage. So, yeah, I'm sure the boards of Troy will have a lot more information and more of the details on exactly what went wrong here, why, he's now on the move outside of the fact that he's just not going to see playing time, it appears, for a while longer. I mean, that alone is reason for guys to go jump in the portal, especially quarterbacks. This is part of the industry now. This is part of just the quarterback position in college football is you get playing time or you don't, and if you don't, you move on, and in many cases, you move on for good money somewhere else. So interested to see what the market looks like for Malachi Nelson, but a really highly rated and well thought of quarterback just a couple years ago, who for one reason or another got lost in the lost in translation there in Los Angeles when it comes to seeing the field. So, I'm curious to learn more, and now it's a big time former prospect that's in the portal. So we'll see again what the attention is like for him and for everybody else that's still hanging around there in the portal, as DeQuan Finn became one of those chess pieces to come off the board, but there's still a lot of others, and it ranges from veteran guys, who most of those guys have now pledged, to these young cats that we've seen very little of it, but have that former 5 or 4 star ranking that's super enticing for coaches who are in need. So that's a big name that hasn't proven anything just yet, but I'm sure there will be plenty of interest.
Just a couple of notes, and we need to